Welcome friends. So today we are going to discuss about glycogenesis. So glycogenesis it is nothing but the synthesis of glycogen from the glucose molecule. Glycogen is the storage form of glucose in animals, whereas in plants it is starch. It is stored mostly in liver 6 to 8% and in muscle 1 to 2%. The excess glucose in the blood it is get converted into glycogen, which may be stored in liver or in muscle. So the glucose is converted to glycogen through the we can say system or reactions called as the glycogenesis, whereas this glycogen which is stored in the liver it provides the glucose by the process glycogenolysis. This is breakdown of the molecule, and genesis that means the synthesis of a particular molecule, compound, whatever it is. So it is the difference between glycogenesis and the glycogenolysis. So the functions of glycogen. The prime function of liver glycogen is to maintain the blood glucose level. As you know, if the blood glucose level becomes high, so the condition becomes diabetes, which is due to the hormonal imbalance or due to that insulin. If insulin it is not functioning well, so at that time the glucose cannot be converted into glycogen. So there are some hormones. One of them it is insulin, which has role in the glycogenesis. Liver glycogen stores or this will increase the well-fed state of the body. That means which provides the energy during the fasting. And muscle glycogen serves as the fuel reserve for the supply of ATP during muscle contraction. So it is up to simple introduction. So we are moving towards our important aspect or the main point, that is glycogenesis. The synthesis of glycogen from glucose is known as glycogenesis. Glycogenesis takes place in the cytosol. It requires ATP and UTP besides the glucose or in addition to the glucose. So the first reaction it is the synthesis of UDP glucose. When the glucose it is get converted into UTP glucose, that means it is called as the activation of the glucose. Only after formation of the UDP glucose, the glucose can take part in the formation of glycogenesis. Only after formation of UDP glucose, it can take part in the glycogenesis. So, the process of formation of UDP glucose, it is as below. Firstly, if the glucose it is in the muscle, so the enzyme it is hexokinase. If it is in the liver, the enzyme it is glucokinase, and the glucose is get converted into 6-phosphate. Here there occurs loss of one ATP molecule. Addition of phosphate group to the glucose. If it is in muscle, hexokinase will catalyze the reaction. If it is in liver, so glucokinase will catalyze the reaction. In the next stage, glucose 6 phosphate then converted into glucose 1 phosphate by the enzyme phosphoglucomutase. Just simply the position of the phosphate group changes from 6 to 1. The glucose 1 phosphate and UTP forms the UDP glucose, that means uridine diphosphate glucose, that means finally our glucose becomes active. So here we require two ATP molecule, one ATP molecule is for phosphorylation glucose to glucose 6 phosphate, and in the another step, that is formation of UDP glucose, and these two we require the ATP molecules. Next one, that is the requirement of primer to initiate glycogenesis. So glycogenesis requires, presently we have UDP glucose, at the same time we require the primer to which glucose of the UDP glucose can bind. It is called as the that particular primer. So the primer, it is nothing but the small fragment of pre-existing glycogen. If this pre-existing glycogen is absent, so at that time the glycogenin can act as a glycogen primer. Primer, it is nothing but the pre-existing glycogen, and if the pre-existing glycogen is absent, so at that time glycogenin can accept the glucose. The function of the primer is to accept the glucose from UDPG. Glycogen synthesis by glycogen synthase. The enzyme name is glycogen synthase. So glycogen synthase is responsible for the formation of 1,4-glycosidic linkage. In this glycogenesis, there are two types of glycosidic linkage or glycosidic bonds. One, it is called as the 1,4-glycosidic linkage. Another one, it is called as the 1,6-glycosidic linkage. If there occurs the formation of bond between the one carbon of one glucose molecule to the 4 carbon of another glucose, that glucose residue, it is called as the 1,4-glycosidic bond. If that bond, it is between the carbon 1 of one glucose and carbon 6 of the another glucose, it is called as the 1,6-glycosidic linkage or the glycosidic bond. These both the things are important in the glycogenesis. If the bond, it is 1,4, it will form the horizontal or the linear type of chain. If the bond, it is 1,6, so at that time there occurs formation of the branching. At that time, that particular chain elongation, it is in the vertical way. So this glycogen synthase or this enzyme transfers the glucose from UDP glucose to the non-reducing end of the glycogen to form alpha 1,4 linkage. In the glycogen molecule, there are two types of end. One, it is called as the reducing, another one, it is called as the non-reducing. The non-reducing end, it is that when there is the addition or the removal of the glucose molecule is possible, it is called as the non-reducing end. So in this this particular synthase or this glycogen synthase enzyme transfers the glucose from UDP glucose to the non-reducing end of the glycogen to form alpha 1,4 linkages. See, so it is the alpha 1,4 linkage. So it is the carbon 1, carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, carbon 5 and carbon 6. Again here carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4. So the bond it is between carbon 1 and carbon 4. So it is called as alpha 1,4 glycosidic bond. Alpha 1,4 glycosidic bond. Then formation of branches in the glycogen. So these particular branches it is formed by the enzyme namely glucosyl alpha 4,6 transferase. This particular enzyme performs two functions. Its first function is to cut the 5 to 8 glucose residues of the non-reducing ends of the glycogen chain and link these glucose residues by with the alpha 1,6 bond. So the enzyme glycosyl alpha 4,6 transferase it is performing two functions, and due to this particular enzyme there occurs formation of the branching. This leads to the formation of new non-reducing ends beside the existing one. This glycogen is further elongated and branched respectively by the enzyme glycogen synthase and the glycosyl 4,6 transferase. So this particular glycogenesis it is somewhat simple as compared to the glycolysis. Only two enzymes, that is glycogen synthase and another enzyme, that is glucosyl 4,6 transferase. Due to the glycogen synthase, there occurs formation of the linear chain of glucose residues with the 1,4 bond, whereas due to the glucosyl 4,6 transferase, there occurs the formation of the branches. So it is. So this particular figure on your left side, it has only one bond, that is 1,4 alpha 1,4 glycosidic bond, due to which the chain it is in the linear fashion only in the horizontal way, whereas when there occurs the action of glucose glycosidic 4,6, that particular enzyme, so due to this it will firstly cut the 5 to 8 glucose residues from the linear chain, and then these particular linear molecules then it attaches to the carbon 1. So the bond it is alpha 1,6 glycosidic bond. It is first carbon and it is the sixth carbon. So it is the that particular we can say the function of the enzyme. It is the diagram which you have to draw in the examination. So glucose, glucokinase, glucose 6 phosphate, then glucose 1 phosphate, then UDP glucose, then here that glycogen primer, it is glucose glycogen synthase, glycosyl alpha 4,6 transferase, and then it is the linear chain and it is the branch. And this particular that action of enzyme glycogen synthase and the glycosyl alpha 4,6 transferase, they act regularly, and there occurs the formation of the molecule glycogen. Glycogen molecule, it is consist of near about 1,20,000 we can say glucose residues, and it has linear chain, and after that 8 to 12 glucose residues in the linear chain, there occurs the branching. So it is about that glycogen molecule. So in this lecture we have talked about the we can say definition. Glycogenesis, that means the reactions involved in the formation of or conversion of glucose to glycogen. Then is it's important at the excess glucose level, it is somewhat bad for our body, bad for our body, and at the same time, by this it can provide the instant energy. We have to store the excess glucose, so glycogen it is important. And we also discuss about the two types of bond, that is 1,4 glycosidic bond and the 1,6 glycosidic bond. I am thankful to the authors Satyanarayan and Chakrapani, from which I have taken the material. I am thankful to the diagram of 1,4 glycosidic bond to this particular website, and that other diagram I have taken from this particular website, which is showing the that 1,4 glycosidic bond and the 1,6 glycosidic bond. Okay, thank you.